Cool.
And our job is just to help employers make the very best of theirs in the two-county area for Pasco and Hernando County. As you know, the unemployment has been a little rough in the past. We're beginning to see an uptick a little bit in a good way, or a downtick, I should say, as far as the numbers going down. For the state of Florida, for April, it was 12% unemployment, and it's now 11.7%, so it's going down, which is a good thing. Hernando County, April was 14.2, and it went down to 13.8 in May. Pasco was 13.1 in April, and it went down to 12.8. So we're seeing it, even nationwide, we're seeing it go from 9.9 to 9.7.
That's great.
And there is some optimism as far as I'm concerned. You know what an optimist is? An optimist is somebody that goes after Moby Dick in a rowboat and takes the tartar sauce with it. Right? So I really believe that we're beginning to see, and also Maribel can attest to this, we're seeing job orders on the increase, which we have employers in the two-county area. We help them, and our services are free. Obviously, we're with the state, and we're funded by the state, and our job is to help the economic base to make that flourish if we can in Pasco and Hernando counties. And we want to help our employers, and we are, golden for us is our chambers. I mean, Nina can tell you that we're definitely involved with the chambers, Dade City, Zephyr Hills, Wesley Chapel, Central and Hernando counties. So, we definitely are involved there. Besides the unemployment, we have some things like employed worker training dollars that we can offer. We can have employers, we can reimburse them up to 50% of their training that they do. And you know employers are doing training, so we definitely want to get that word out to the employers that we have a pot of money out there that we can help them to defray the costs and reimburse them up to 50% of approved training. So that is a good thing.
And not many people know about that, so this is great. I mean, you know, it's like, why not utilize the program?
Yeah, we definitely want to get that word out to them,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And we have round tables. In fact, we have one today down in Newport Richie. And it's, you want to comment on that a little bit, Maribel?
That was the new realities for new health forum. And it was catered for employers to come out and get informed about different, options moving forward with the new legislations for the health reforms.
Yeah. So
we're just trying to get the word out, getting employers informed.
Cool. Now, how does it, I mean, like, supposing I want to hire somebody for front desk here, okay?
Okay.
Do I call you and you hire them, or
yeah, no. What we would do, Jim, is first of all, we have a job order form that we want to give you. And, when you go to the local paper, that costs you money. And you're concerned about how many words you put in there, because each word that you put is going to cost you a little bit more money.
Exactly.
But you put in all the kind of words if you want to with us, because we're going to post it the way you want it to be read. And we have another program, which I'm glad you mentioned that, Jim, called Prove It. And what happens is, let's say you put that job order in and you send it to us, or you say, Steve, I'm ready, here it is. I'll send it back to you by email, or I can come and pick it up from you, whatever. But we're going to get that in the Employ Florida system, network system, and it's going to go through the whole, in fact, it doesn't go just into the state of Florida, but it goes to the whole country. So if you had somebody in Georgia that was getting ready to move down into the congressman's area and your job was there, then certainly they could say, I think I'm fit for that. And they could come to us, and also you could say, Steve, do you have any programs that, rather than them just saying that they're a medical billing or a front desk, and that we can test them on, and we do. It's called Prove It. There's over 1,100 different types of tests, and they're free to the employers to use. Then they can take these tests, and we can measure the skills ability and see if they fit that job for you. So it's not just a person coming in saying, I can do it, but they can prove that they can do it, and that helps you, it helps them, and it's better for the system.
That is, weeds through a lot of the.
Did I mention it's free?
Make it. Yeah. Anything free is for us. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That's good. It's a government program, right? I mean, pretty much.
Yes.
And anything, because we're always paying. Anything the government's giving back.
And we have our big mobile one that we need to use. And it's the congressmen and them that approve our bills.
Well, great.
So
good for you.
And that's good for us.
Yeah, that's great.
We have
anything they offer us.
that are set aside. We have the OJT program where we can fund up to 12 weeks of training. If an employer is looking to have on-the-job training, OJT, we can reimburse up to 50% of the cost of that individual to get that training in their first up to 12-week period, depending on the job.
Yeah, any question about that? Excuse me
Sure.
for a second. You know, like, well, the way we train here, somebody comes in, they apply for front desk. We will actually take one of our front desk people and they'll shadow them for a couple of days. Now, what we're paying, what our investment is in there is the payroll for this employee. By you reimbursing for training, are you talking about paying this veteran employee their pay for the couple of days?
What we would do is there's what we call an ONET code. It's in the system. ONET, I can't remember the acronym, what it stands for, but what it is it's like a 6 or 7 digit number. Each job in America has a 6 to 7 digit number that describes that job. And we go online and we look up that job, and it will tell us what the normal week periods of training for that person. Obviously, you wouldn't have an OJT for a brain surgeon. We wouldn't want that.
No.
But if you have somebody that, there's different types of jobs out there, a project manager or whatever, and we want to put those positions and have and what you would do is you would say, okay, this week we're going to train them in these certain areas, and this next week we're going to train them up to a 12-week period, depending on the type of job that it is. And then you would do that training, and then as you pay them for those, like if you pay them every 2 weeks, then we would get the receipts from you, and then we would go back to our finance folks, process it to reimburse the employer. So it's money, half that money goes right back into the employer's pocket. And that's a good system that way, because hopefully that jump starts the economy a little bit, because some of the employers want to do that, but they just don't have the funding right now. So if the state can come in and help that a little bit by the way of the OJT program, then maybe we can jumpstart it so that 12 weeks later the employer can fully start funding them, and they can use that money for some productivity back into the company. And that's what we're all about, is trying to build that economic base for our employers in the Duke County area. We do it by round tables. We do it job fairs. We have job fairs. We try to have them on a quarterly basis, both for Pasco and Hernando counties, where we can have employers to come in, set up a table. Did I mention it's free?
Yeah,
it's free.
Yes.
But you can mention that as many times as you like. Steve, you know. Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that the employer has the opportunity face-to-face, maybe to do some on-site interviews with the employers right there. And we do have job fairs at Pasco and Hernando, East Pasco, West Pasco, and also Hernando, that we do that. So there's a great opportunity for us to be able to help the employers. And the Mobile One is a big mobile that has what, 13 computers, 13 computer setups in it. You know, it's satellite fed, where we can do the satellite feed on it, and we can set it up. If we have some employers that are getting ready to do some layoffs, hopefully what we want to do is we want to go in there with our React team and set up shop with the Mobile One, if we can help them and help these employees that may be getting laid off and have a seamless operation. There might be jobs that they could already be trained for that we have in our system that we could refer them to, and it would be a seamless operation for them to go from one job to the other. And that's what our goal is, to try to help the employer, whether they're downsizing or whether they're upsizing. You know,
Yes, sir.
hopefully they're upsizing, and we want to do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, one of our guests here would like to ask you a direct question there,
Sure.
Steve. I didn't mean to be rude a minute
No,
ago,
no.
but she's actually, we try to kind of coordinate everything around here, so
Sure.
I might be, but I'm listening.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
everyone
we're-
answering.
You know, we're troubleshooting stuff, so yeah.
Well, I
Cindy?
gave you a quick reference, guys. I
Yeah,
got some
Cindy from Lombardale would like to ask you a question.
Go ahead,
so-
Cindy.
You're talking about funding, but I only have 2.5 employees, so how big do you have to get?
You have, and that's a very good question. I'm glad you mentioned that. The size of the that you have to be is you have to have that employer has to have at least one full-time employee besides themselves. And we only have employed worker training dollars. I assume that's what you're talking about, the employed worker training dollars. Yeah, we only have that funding is only for full-time employees, not part-time. But I will say this, that each region is they have their own policies and procedures. It might be different from us than it would be in Jacksonville, and it is a little bit different. Jacksonville, as you know, they have a lot of employers up there, and so they only fund for-profit entities, whereas since we're in a rural area here, our workforce board has determined that we will fund for-profit, nonprofit, and governmental entities. So
Oh, that's good to know.
That is
that's
good
good
to
for
know.
all of them